There are moments in life when a quiet, almost suffocating thought begins to echo inside. I'm late. I should have done more. I should be somewhere else by now. It creeps in during sleepless nights. It appears when you compare yourself to others. It whispers when you see the years passing and wonder, what happened to me? Where did time go? But what if I told you? This feeling, this heady perception of being behind, isn't actually real. It isn't a universal truth. It's not part of the natural order of life. It's not even yours. It's a program that was silently installed in your subconscious. Without your consent, Dr. Bruce Lipton, one of the greatest minds in epigenetics, shows us that our biology does not blindly follow our genes. It responds to the environment, and the most powerful environment is the one created inside of you through your beliefs. Yes, even the belief that you're late, that you've wasted too much time, that you're running out of chances. This belief doesn't just affect your mind. It literally alters the way your cells behave. It activates stress hormones. It triggers anxiety. It blocks the flow of healing. It disconnects you from the natural rhythm of life. The same rhythm that never rushes. The same rhythm that knows everything blooms in divine time. But how did this program get there? The answer lies in the most vulnerable stage of your life. From the moment you were born until about age 7, your brain functioned in a hypnotic state, theta waves, where everything was absorbed without filters, without questioning, without logic. That's how you inherited invisible rules like time is running out. If you don't hurry, you'll be left behind. Success has an expiration date. These phrases didn't come from your soul. They were echoes from a society trapped in survival mode. A society that forgot how to listen to the rhythms of nature. Joe Dispenza's research complements this perfectly. He explains that a brain conditioned by the past keeps reliving the same experiences over and over. The mind wakes up every day scanning for what's missing, remembering what didn't happen, reinforcing the feeling of delay, of lack, of insufficiency. And without realizing it, you start to embody this story. You wake up wearing the heavy coat of, I'm late. You breathe the air of, I should have been further. You look at life through the fogged lens of, I'm running out of time. But pause for a moment. Really pause. Ask yourself, are you truly late? Or have you simply been hypnotized into believing a story that was never yours to begin with? This is where the real journey begins. It's almost unsettling when you realize how early this invisible programming begins. Before you even understood what time was, before you knew how to read a clock, the world was already whispering in your ears that life is a race, that you must hurry, that you must accomplish, that you must not fall behind. The voices weren't always harsh. Sometimes they were gentle, loving, but still loaded with fear. You have to study now, or you won't be anyone later. Time doesn't wait. Life is passing by. Words that seemed innocent, but planted seeds of anxiety deep in your subconscious. Bruce Lipton's research in epigenetics shows that our subconscious mind, especially in the first 7 years of life, absorbs everything as absolute truth, not metaphor, not suggestion, but truth. It doesn't matter if your caregivers were trying to protect you. The message your subconscious received was clear. There's not enough time. You are always one step behind. You have to fight against the clock. And so, the nervous system learns to operate in a constant state of alertness. A subtle tension lives in your body, in your shoulders, your chest, your breath. A quiet urgency that never leaves. It's the culture of temporal scarcity. A collective trance where people believe that worth is measured by speed, by productivity, by how fast you check the boxes of life. But this is not a spiritual truth. This is not encoded in the fabric of the universe. This is not how life was designed. Bruce Lipton reminds us, we are not prisoners of our genes. We are reflections of the environments we live in. And the most powerful environment is not the world outside. It's the one you hold inside your mind. If the soil of your subconscious was planted with beliefs of scarcity, pressure, and urgency, that's the reality your biology mirrored. Your cells responded to it. Your hormones adjusted to it. Your body prepared for a race that, in truth, never needed to exist. This realization isn't meant to blame the past. It's not here to accuse anyone. It's here to liberate you, to help you see the pressure you carry, the feeling that you're behind. Isn't a flaw in you. It's not your failure. It's a program, an old script, one you didn't write, but one you can choose starting now to stop believing. There is a kind of exhaustion that doesn't come from physical effort, but from running in circles inside your own mind. The world has taught you that moving, doing, achieving is the same as evolving. That if you are busy, you must be progressing. That if you're checking boxes, you must be succeeding. But how often, even after reaching a goal, do you still feel empty? As if something is still missing. As if, despite all your movement, you remain stuck in the same place. This is the invisible mistake. The illusion that external achievements mean internal growth. Society celebrates productivity, celebrates speed, celebrates constant action. But the truth, the quiet, uncomfortable truth, is that action without vibrational coherence is hollow. Movement without alignment doesn't lead to fulfillment. It only feeds the cycle of, I'm not enough yet, I'm not there yet, I must do more. Joe Dispenza explains this through the lens of neuroscience. When you live in survival mode, constantly reacting to the outside world, your brain gets trapped in high beta states, hypervigilant, overstimulated, focused entirely on the external. And in this state, the door to your intuition, your creativity, your inner guidance slams shut. You can't hear your soul whisper when your nervous system is screaming, so you act, you hustle, you push. But the energy behind the action is fear, not trust. Scarcity, not abundance. Anxiety, not presence. You end up chasing outcomes that, even when achieved, don't satisfy the ache inside. Because the movement came from a place of lack, not from a place of coherence. It's a painful paradox. The more you try to rush toward a better life, the more disconnected you become from the very frequency that creates it. The frequency of wholeness, of alignment, of alignment. Your biology, your electromagnetic field, doesn't respond to the checklist of achievements. It responds to the signal you are emitting. And when that signal is confusion, pressure, and desperation to catch up, the universe mirrors it back, not out of punishment, but because that is how energy responds to energy. True evolution doesn't shout. It doesn't rush. It moves quietly, like the seasons, like breath, like the tide. Inner growth happens when action is born from alignment, not as a desperate attempt to outrun the feeling of being behind. There is a silence within the body that speaks louder than words, a tension you don't always notice, but your energy does. It's the tightness in your chest when you think you're falling behind, the subtle clenching in your jaw when you believe you are running out of time, the heaviness in your breath when the future feels like a distant place you cannot reach. But what if the very vibration you are sending out, the silent signal your heart and mind emit, is the very thing that keeps what you desire away from you? Bruce Lipton reminds us that we are not just flesh and bones. We are fields of energy, electromagnetic beings constantly sending and receiving frequencies. And when the mind says, I'm late, the body translates that into stress, the heart becomes incoherent, the breath becomes shallow. The nervous system prepares for a threat that doesn't exist, except in the narrative you were taught to believe. Greg Braden explains that the field around you, the quantum field, doesn't respond to words. It doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to the coherence between your heart and your mind. It listens to your frequency. And when your frequency is built on anxiety, frustration, and the fear of being behind, that field mirrors it perfectly. You emit lack, and life echoes it back. You emit urgency, and life feels rushed, pressured, and blocked. You emit, I'm not there yet, and reality keeps confirming that. This isn't punishment, it's resonance, it's physics. The field isn't working against you. It's working with the energy you are feeding it, whether consciously or not. And here lies the invisible trap. The more you believe you are late, the more your field disorganizes, the more your frequency scatters, the more life feels like it's slipping through your fingers. Your heart's electromagnetic field is 60 times more powerful than your brain's. It sends signals into the quantum field constantly. When your heart and mind are incoherent, when the mind screams, I'm running out of time, but the heart longs for peace, the result is energetic chaos, a signal that confuses life itself. And so, the opportunities you seek, the relationships, the healing, the abundance, don't disappear. They don't reject you. They simply cannot lock onto a signal that keeps changing, that vibrates in fear, that pulses in dissonance. The illusion of being late creates more than mental stress. It creates an energetic field that closes doors before you even knock. Not because you are unworthy, not because it's too late, but because the frequency of I'm behind does not align with the frequency of I am ready, I am enough, I am in harmony with life. This is the invisible weight you've been carrying. Not just a thought, but an entire electromagnetic pattern that echoes through your body, and reflects back through reality. It is one of life's quiet ironies. The more you rush, the more life slips through your fingers. The faster you try to force outcomes, the more distant they seem to become. You've been taught that acceleration leads to achievement, that urgency creates success. But what no one told you is that rushing fractures your energy. It pushes you out of alignment with the very reality you are trying to create. When the brain is trapped in high beta states, the state of stress, survival, and hyperfocus on the external, your body enters fight or flight. Your nervous system floods with cortisol. Your breath becomes shallow. Your heart rhythm becomes erratic. And in this state, intuition disappears. Creativity collapses. The doorway to higher consciousness slams shut. The truth is, the more you speed up externally, the more you slow down internally. Not in a peaceful way, but in a blocked, disconnected way. The electromagnetic field around you becomes chaotic. The signal you emit gets noisy, distorted, filled with frequencies of "I'm not there yet," "I need to hurry," "I am behind." And the quantum field, sensitive, responsive, immediate, simply mirrors that, not as punishment, not as rejection, but as pure resonance. This is where the paradox lives. Life responds not to your desire, but to your state of being. The more you chase, the more life runs. The more you force, the more things resist. But when you soften, when you breathe, when you enter states of coherence, everything shifts. Your brain moves from beta into alpha and into theta. These are the states of flow, the states of intuition, the states where the subconscious becomes open, where you are no longer fighting time, but merging with it. In alpha, the mind relaxes. You become present. Your thoughts stop racing toward the future. In theta, the doorway to the subconscious opens. This is where deep change happens, where reality becomes malleable, where manifestation stops being a concept and becomes a lived experience. The obsession with fast results, with fixing your life quickly, with catching up, is the very energy that blocks the natural unfolding of your life. Nature does not rush. The seed does not force itself to sprout. The ocean does not rush its waves. The sun does not hurry to rise. And yet, everything happens perfectly, in rhythm, in flow. When you remember this, when you embody this, you no longer run after life. You realize life was never ahead of you. It was always here, waiting for you to arrive within yourself. There is a sacred intelligence in nature that never rushes, yet nothing is ever left undone. A tree does not force its branches to grow. A flower does not demand its petals to open faster. A seed knows. It knows that growth is not a race. It knows that the soil, the sunlight, the water will guide its unfolding in perfect time. And what we forget is that we are made of the same intelligence, the same biology, the same sacred rhythm. Bruce Lipton's work reveals something profoundly humbling. Your cells do not respond to pressure. They do not react to the anxious demand of "I should be further by now." They respond to the environment, not just the physical environment around you, but the vibrational environment within you, your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs, the invisible ecosystem of your mind. When you embody stress, when you believe you are late, when you breathe urgency, your biology shifts. Your cells stop thriving. They move into protection, into contraction, into survival. The very energy that is meant to create, to heal, to manifest, freezes. Because the signal you are sending is not one of growth, but of threat. This is why no amount of forcing, no amount of hustling, no amount of desperate manifesting works when it's born from lack. Your biology, your nervous system, your electromagnetic field does not blossom under pressure. It blossoms under coherence, under safety, under trust in the natural unfolding of life. The metaphor of the seed is not poetic exaggeration. It's biological truth. A seed planted in rushed, chaotic conditions does not flourish. But when the soil is rich, when the environment supports it, it grows. Not faster than it should, not slower, exactly as it's meant to. And so does your life. When you align your frequency with patience, with trust, with presence, your cells relax. Your heart becomes coherent. Your brain shifts into states where the subconscious can be rewired. Your electromagnetic field emits a signal of harmony, not desperation. And in that signal, life begins to respond. Not because you forced it, but because you finally match the frequency where things unfold naturally, gracefully, inevitably. The cycle of life cannot be violated by the mind's obsession with speed. The anxiety of why isn't it here yet does not accelerate your manifestations, it suffocates them. But the presence of I am the fertile ground, I am the environment where life blooms, transforms everything. This is the biology of patience, not passive waiting, but active trust, a vibrational state that tells your body, your mind, and the universe, I am not behind, I'm becoming. There is an invisible framework that governs how most people navigate life, a framework so deeply ingrained that it feels like absolute truth. It's the belief in linear time. The idea that life must unfold in a straight line, past, present, future, that where you are now is the direct result of where you've been, and that your future is something distant, waiting somewhere ahead of you. But this is one of the most limiting illusions of the conditioned mind. From the very beginning, you were taught to measure your life like a timeline, a race from one milestone to another, childhood, adulthood, success, retirement, constantly looking ahead, chasing what's next, fearing what might be left behind. And yet, nature doesn't operate like this. The universe doesn't unfold in a straight line. Reality itself, at its quantum level, doesn't follow the rules of time the way the mind was conditioned to believe. Neville Goddard called this the psychological time, a construct of the mind that believes the future is somewhere separate, somewhere else. But the truth, and this is echoed in quantum physics, in neuroplasticity, and in the teachings of Bruce Lipton, is that there is only now. Everything exists now, every potential, every version of you, every possibility, not as a metaphor, but as a literal field of energy waiting to be accessed. When your mind is trapped in linear time, it waits, it delays. It says, one day, when I have this, then I'll feel that. When I fix this, then I can be happy. When I finally achieve this, then I'll be enough. And that waiting, that constant pushing life into the future, keeps you in a perpetual state of not yet. Bruce Lipton's work reminds us that your biology, your genes, your cells, your nervous system, doesn't respond to the clock on the wall. It responds to the environment of your thoughts and emotions. And if your environment is, I'm not there yet, your body mirrors it. Your electromagnetic field mirrors it. Life mirrors it. Neville Goddard invites us to step beyond the trap of time, to understand that manifestation doesn't happen in the future. It happens in the now, by embodying the state of the already realized, by living, breathing, feeling, as if the reality you desire is already true within you, not pretending, not forcing, but genuinely shifting your state of being into alignment with the frequency of the outcome. This is how you dissolve the illusion of delay. The line from past to future collapses, and you step into the quantum truth where everything, every outcome, every healing, every manifestation already exists. Not ahead of you, not later, but here, now, in the field of consciousness that you are always connected to. The trap of linear time isn't just a mental error. It's an energetic distortion, a frequency that keeps you searching when the truth is, you were never meant to search. You were meant to remember. Remember that you are not walking toward the future. You are the future, embodied in presence, in vibration, in consciousness. There comes a moment when understanding is no longer enough, when knowing that the feeling of being late is a program, a story, an illusion, must evolve into something deeper, into transformation, into embodiment, into a new signal that your body, your mind, and the field around you can recognize, respond to, and reflect back. This is where the science of neuroplasticity meets the sacred language of energy, where the teachings of Bruce Lipton, Joe Dispenza, and Greg Braden merge into a practical shift in your being. The first step is to reveal, to bring to the surface the hidden beliefs that have been running silently in the background. You begin noticing the subtle thoughts that whisper, I'm behind, it's too late, I should be further by now. These aren't just thoughts. They are energetic imprints, echoes of a past that was never truly yours. And simply seeing them with clarity, with presence, begins to loosen their grip. The second step is to reprogram. This is where the power of altered states of consciousness becomes undeniable. Joe Dispenza teaches that when the brain shifts from high beta, the state of stress and survival, into alpha and then theta, the subconscious becomes accessible. It becomes malleable. In this state, you are no longer just thinking. You are impressing new information into the very fabric of your nervous system. This is where visualization transcends imagination. You are no longer hoping. You are rehearsing. You are feeling. You are becoming the version of yourself who is no longer chasing time, but embodying the frequency of I am in harmony with life. I am not behind. I am in rhythm. You see it. You feel it in your body. You breathe it into your cells. Your heart begins to generate a coherent signal. Your brain follows. And together, they create a field around you that emits certainty, trust, and presence. The third step is to reconnect, to anchor this new frequency not as a temporary state, but as a baseline. This is where the practice of heart coherence becomes vital. Greg Braden teaches that when your breath slows, when your focus rests gently on the heart, when gratitude or appreciation fills your emotional body, the electromagnetic field becomes organized, coherent, powerful. From this place, you are no longer sending out the signal of I'm running out of time. You are emitting I am the perfect rhythm of life. You become the fertile environment where manifestations take root, where the body relaxes into healing, where opportunities gravitate toward the clarity of your signal. This is not forcing reality to bend to your will. This is becoming the version of yourself who naturally aligns with the timeline where what you desire already exists. A timeline not measured by the clock, but by vibration, by coherence, by the frequency of presence. When heart and mind speak the same language, when the signal you emit matches the reality you wish to experience, the illusion of being late dissolves, not because life accelerated, but because you finally slowed down enough to catch up with yourself. There is a quiet truth, one that exists beyond the noise of the mind, beyond the ticking of the clock, beyond the programmed illusion that life is a race you are constantly losing. The truth is, you were never late, you were never behind. You were simply living inside a story written by generations who forgot how life truly worked. Bruce Lipton reminds us that we are not victims of our biology. We are reflections of the environment we create, both outside and within. And when the internal environment is filled with urgency, with pressure, with the desperate belief that time is running out, the body, the mind, and the quantum field mirror that reality. But when the internal environment shifts, when it becomes a space of coherence, of trust, of presence, the entire reality reorganizes, not through force, not through effort, but through resonance, through vibration. Neville Goddard whispered this timeless truth. The future is not something you wait for. The future is something you embody now. Your desired life does not live on the other side of more effort. It lives in the frequency of the present moment, in the consciousness that dares to believe it is already done. The perception of being late, of having wasted time, of running out of chances is nothing more than a distortion, a glitch in the program matrix of the subconscious mind. And the moment you see it, the moment you recognize that the pressure you've carried was never yours, the illusion begins to dissolve. You are not running against time. You are the very rhythm of time in motion. You are the unfolding, the becoming, the breath of the universe taking shape as your life. There is no clock chasing you. There is no finish line waiting. There is only presence, only vibration, only this sacred now where everything, absolutely everything, begins.